My dear students of class 9, I am going to teach you the last 4 lines which I failed to complete due to sudden, link failure. Now the last remaining 4 lines I am going to teach you. Then I shall complete teaching of lesson number 1 and then go to teach next lesson, lesson number 3. Now the last lesson. Here it is. Our last lesson, the last 4 lines are, here it is. The last 4 lines are the points I have taken from this heading, differences between Harappan and Indus civilization. Differences between the Harappan and Indus civilization. Then I shall complete teaching. Before clarifying this point, differences between Harappan and Indus civilization, I shall ask you, who was Nebuchadnezzar? You know, Nebuchadnezzar was a famous king of Mesopotamia. What did he do? He constructed a number of temples, means a number of ziggurats. He built the famous hanging garden at Babylon for his wife, who missed the greenery of her homeland and found very flat terrain of Mesopotamia very depressing and upset, very depressive. That's why, in order to satisfy her needs and expectation, King Nebuchadnezzar constructed the famous hanging gardens at Babylon, which are considered as this famous hanging garden considered as one of the greatest wonders of the ancient world. Now, the basic difference between the Harappan and Indus civilizations. The Sumerian cities were constructed in a circular pattern, and at the same time there were so many temples constructed side by side. But the Harappan cities were constructed in a Greek pattern. Apart from this, the Sumerians constructed temples with high artistic skills and architectural styles and architectural capabilities. The architectures showed their best proficiency and skills while constructing ziggurats. Why was it? Because of the famous king Nebuchadnezzar. Now, what is ziggurat? Ziggurat was multi-storied temple which were constructed beautifully, decorated with precious stones and tiles, having many gateways. So, this is the basic difference between the cities of Harappa and the cities of, Indus civilization. Now, my next lesson. Next lesson is new ideas and religions. New ideas and religions. This is my next lesson. New ideas and religions. Here it is. New ideas and religions. You see, new ideas and religions. The students of class 9, you see, new ideas and religions. New ideas and religions. Here, I am going to explain you about Janapadas. What is Janapadas? What is Janapadas? Now I am going to clarify. You know, the Aryans were basically nomadic people. They occupied the vast areas and settled and introduced their own settlements. during the vast part and also brought a remarkable change in the field of social, political, and economic fields. Then, during 6th century BC, the Aryan extended their settlements, and at the same time, the later Vedic age also witnessed frequent conflicts between various nomadic people, conflicts between tribal people. That time, the power of the Aryans had become less powerful. So many, tribal people also had become powerful. They had their own groups, they had their own units. So the powerful units dominated the, less powerful units. So by this way, a powerful units also were formed. These powerful units of the tribal people known as Janapadas. And next one, Mahajanapadas. What is Mahajanapadas? What do you know about Mahajanapadas? Mahajanapadas means Janapadas became more and more powerful and they extended their influence in other parts, and at the same time they also made huge wealth. The same powerful unit who formed Janapadas, whenever they extended their territories in wide scale and made huge wealth, that units came to be known as Mahajanapadas. Now, rift between Brahmins and Kshatriyas. Another point, rift between Brahmins and Kshatriyas. Brahmins and Kshatriyas. During Vedic age, the Brahmins had become very powerful. But after later Vedic age, the power of the Brahmins had become less than the Kshatriyas. Why is it? During that age, the Orient class people, who were Orient class people? The Kshatriyas were Orient class people. Kshatriyas became very powerful, and the Brahmins forced the common people to offer valuable gifts, but the common people could not have, but it was not affordable to the common people. That's why they could not be a part of religious practices, religious ceremonies and religious festivals, but only the rich people spend a lot of money. They also offered many beautiful and valuable ornaments, valuable goods for the Brahmins in order to get the Brahmins satisfied. And so the Brahmins blessed the prosperous people, but the common people were deprived of their blessings. That's why the warrior class people were not satisfied with the Brahmins. So there was a contrast between the Brahmins and the Kshatriyas. During the Vedic age, the Brahmins who established their influence over the Kshatriyas, and the Kshatriyas had respect for the Brahmins. During later Vedic age, the Kshatriyas did not pay respect to the Brahmins, but due to their wrong practices, the Kshatriyas refused to accept them to be a superior class people, respectable group of people in the country. That's why at the time this type of contrast, this type of irregularities gave a birth of two religious concepts. The concepts, number one, Jainism, Buddhism. The two religious concepts, rise of religious reformers, Gautama Buddha and Mahavira. It gave a birth of two religious concepts. Number one, the concept of Jainism, the concept of Buddhism. Now, who founded it? Jainism was founded by Vardhavana Mahavira, and Buddhism was founded by whom? Gautama Buddha. Both the two religious reformers founded their respective religious concepts. Next day I shall clarify What were the causes of the rise of two religious concepts, Jainism and Buddhism? Now, from the previous lesson, lesson number 1, I shall give you some homeworks. Already I gave you. Now the remaining short questions you will solve it and write it down in your classwork, in your homework copies. From the rest of the short questions you will solve and write down in your classwork in your homework copies and show me next. And some structured questions are there. These structured questions I shall solve and I shall send through still photos. You will have it, questions with answers, only for structured questions. Thank you.